whilst Netflix went on to be worth over $200 billion.
Netflix has been providing us all with the content we so desperately craved.
Why is Netflix now in very deep trouble?
Press play. Nothing. Just that spinning red N on a black screen while your popcorn cools. Seconds feel like hours, and when the picture finally snaps to life, it's another sequel you never asked for, starring faces you barely recognize, color-graded into oblivion.
I made this run once, Lucien. I will make it again.
Remember when that logo felt like a promise? House of Cards, Narcos, the first time you binged Stranger Things until 3 a.m. Netflix back then felt dangerous, like sneaking into an R-rated movie with a fake ID. It
Mess with me or mine again and I shall forget your family.
It rewrote the rules, bulldozed Blockbuster, and handed us an endless candy aisle of stories we actually craved. Fast forward to tonight, and the candy tastes like wax. The catalog is a graveyard of half-finished seasons, algorithm-spliced rom-coms that all look the same, trash TV social experiments, and big-budget spectacles that vanish from your feed by Monday. Scrolling takes longer than watching. Your group chat has moved on to HBO Discourse, Apple TV Flexes, Disney's weekly drops. Netflix's answer? Raise the price, add ads, and cancel your favorite show on a cliffhanger. What happened? How did the streaming pioneer that convinced us to cut the cord become the punchline of every content glut meme? Stick around, because the numbers behind Netflix's quality nosedive.
After all, most marriages end in misery.
The secret algorithm that kills creativity, and the wild reason they dump entire seasons at once will blow your mind. And wait until Section 5. The twist is brutal. Picture a red carpet flashbulb flickering across a decade. 2013. House of Cards storms onto laptops everywhere. Kevin Spacey breaks the fourth wall and the old TV order with him. 2015 to 2016. Narcos and Stranger Things make one more episode the global rallying cry. For the first time, cable channels look genuinely nervous. Financialcontent.com. 2017. The shine cracks. Budgets balloon, and Netflix quietly swings the axe on costly passion projects like Sense8 and The Get Down. A warning shot that not even critical darlings are safe. Then the throttle slams forward. 2018 to 19. A new original drops almost every day. Big swings, The Witcher, chaotic reality, The Circle, algorithm-friendly rom-coms, The Kissing Booth. It's dazzling, but suddenly impossible to keep up. 2020. Locked down viewers push global subscribers past 200 million, masking the first grumbles that everything feels the same.
I miss you, jerk.
I miss you more.
2021 to 22. Competitors counterpunch. Disney Plus weaponizes Marvel weeklies, HBO Max lands water cooler bonanzas like Succession,
I've always tried to do the best by them.
and Apple TV Plus wins Oscars. Netflix replies by spending $17 billion on content, but the cultural conversation drifts elsewhere. 2023 strikes grind Hollywood to a halt. Netflix survives on international series and back catalog comfort food, yet the pipeline shows serious dents. 2024, a brutal cancel fest. Sci-fi hit 1899. Breakout anime Blue Eye Samurai. Even the critically beloved Mindhunter. Fans rage quit in droves. 2025, the hammer drops again. Prices jump to $24.99 for premium, and even the ad tier inches up to $7.99. Co-CEO Ted Sarandos tells investors they feel really good about it. Reddit does not. Adding insult, Netflix's two flagship franchises, Stranger Things and Squid Game, prepare their finales, closing the book on the era that built the brand. Step back, and the arc is obvious. Meteoric rise, overextension, and a slow credibility leak with every price hike and premature cancellation. But the real culprit isn't time. It's Netflix's own content machine. In the next section, we'll crack open the quantity over quality strategy and show exactly how the glut is torching audience demand. Trust me, the numbers are jaw-dropping. It's Friday night, your couch is ready for liftoff, and Netflix slams down a wall of thumbnails. Neon-wash teen heists, Scandinavian thrillers, a sitcom about zombie influencers, 589 brand new originals just from 2024. That's 13 premieres a week, and still 20% fewer than the record-shattering 749 in 2022.
Hell is anticipating his visit.
The fire hose never stops. It just starts to sputter. But here's the twist. More shows, more love. Parrot Analytics clocked Netflix's global demand share for originals at 53.5% in 2020. Today, 33.3%. That's a 20-point faceplant in 3 years, even as competitors add a fraction of the titles. Movies tell the same story. Netflix pumped out an average 221 original films per year in the US from 2019 to 2023. Yet demand for those films has dropped 2 quarters in a row. Parrot calls it supply outpacing demand. Industry speak for nobody's watching the stuff you're paying for. Why the disconnect? Volume looks impressive on earnings slides, but brutal in a living room. The algorithm slices audiences into micro-demographics, left-handed millennial horror moms, and greenlights niche content at industrial scale. Trouble is, cultural heat doesn't scale, it concentrates. The average subscriber now scrolls past 50 titles before pressing play, then bails halfway through episode 1. Choice paralysis is real, and Netflix's own engagement report shows that just 5% of its 18,000-plus titles drive nearly 60% of all viewing hours. The glut also bulldozes marketing. With a new drop every day, there's no runway for buzz. Remember how Stranger Things owned July 2016 for weeks?
Later. See you tomorrow.
Now a splashy release fights for oxygen against 4 other premieres launched the same morning. Coverage fragments, word-of-mouth fizzles, and even a solid show can disappear from the home screen by Monday. And the cost? Those forgotten originals aren't cheap. From 9-figure blockbusters like Red Notice to mid-budget rom-coms shot in 3 countries, Netflix spent $17 billion on content last year, largely financed by your latest price hike.
Hello, boys. It's so nice to finally meet you in person.
Yet each underwatched title erodes the perception that Netflix is a curator, not a content landfill. So the numbers prove it. The fire hose is flooding the house.
You're in trouble, aren't you?
Up next, we'll meet the algorithmic gatekeepers who built this gusher and reveal why their data-driven playbook might be killing creativity faster than any budget cuts. The revelations in Section 4 are wild. Don't miss them. A writer walks into the Netflix pitch room clutching a well-worn script. Across the table, not a bespectacled development exec, but a heat map of viewer data. Characters older than 45 turn the squares blue, subtitles light them red, cliffhangers pulse neon green. Welcome to the Green Light Gauntlet, where A/B-tested story beats count for more than gut instinct. Netflix has bragged about this supercomputer approach since House of Cards. Its first big programmed hit was based on subscriber overlap between Kevin Spacey fans and political thrillers. TheGuardian.com. In theory, feeding 260 million viewers' click habits into a prediction engine should crank out masterpieces on demand. In practice, critics say the algorithm has learned one dark art: how to churn out safe carbon copy stories. The entertainment strategy guy calls it the algorithmic lie, noting that data can tell you what people watched yesterday, not what they'll obsess over tomorrow. The results show on screen. Reddit threads roast the Netflix face. Mid-shot, teal and orange, generic leads, murmuring quippy dialogue. Medium columnist Farooq Alpay pins the blame on execs letting dashboards, not auteurs, steer the slate, while rivals like Apple TV Plus ride smaller, curator-led lineups to higher satisfaction scores. Even inside the company, creatives feel the squeeze. The infamous keeper test culture, managers must fire anyone they wouldn't fight to keep, has some showrunners whispering that bold ideas die for fear they'll miss engagement targets and cost jobs. Worklife.news. Meanwhile, co-CEO Ted Sarandos touts AI as the next cost cutter, promising cheaper VFX while insisting it won't kill creativity. Skeptics hear a polite prelude to more paint-by-numbers content. Here's the stat that really stings. Netflix's own 18,000 title engagement report reveals just 5% of shows drive nearly 60% of viewing hours. A brutal reminder that most algorithm-blessed projects sink without a ripple. About.netflix.com. Translation: the robot may pick winners, but it also rubber stamps an ocean of losers, hiking budgets, and cluttering the feed. So the algorithm that promised endless hits is now the prime suspect in Netflix's creative slump. But when a show does slip through and find a loyal fandom, another specter looms: the cancellation axe. In the next section, we'll dive into the outrage, the petitions, and the cliffhangers that never get resolved, and why they're eroding trust faster than any bad UI tweak. Brace yourself. The numbers are savage. Picture the moment. You've sunk 10 hours into a gorgeous mindbender like 1899. Credits roll on a massive cliffhanger. And 2 weeks later, Netflix tweets, "We've decided not to move forward with Season 2. Boom. 100,000 viewers stampede to change.org, flooding a petition that's still climbing today. Netflix is swinging the axe harder than any rival. In 2024 alone, it canceled 16 shows outright and shoved another 6 out the door with final season orders. 22 executions in 12 months, the highest in streaming. Halfway through 2025, the streak continues, with more than 20 additional titles, including Kalapani, The Recruit, and docu-hit Tour de France. Unchained, already confirmed dead. Fans call it the Red Wedding, and no genre is safe. The blowback is loud and organized. When cult favorite Warrior Nun got the chop, hashtags Osh Save Warrior Nun and Oxosh Cancel Netflix trended worldwide.
About women who have dedicated their lives to fighting an ancient evil.
A Time report counts over 107,000 petition signatures and millions of angry tweets, some filmed while paragliding just to prove the point. Reddit threads dissect cancellation spreadsheets. YouTubers boycott reviews, and even mainstream press now runs annual Netflix graveyard features. Why does Netflix keep pulling the trigger? Insiders point to a brutal cost-to-completion metric. If Season 2 won't gross subscribers more than a cheaper, brand-new show, it's toast. The algorithm that greenlights at warp speed also kills at warp speed because unfinished stories cost nothing after the plug is pulled. But there's collateral damage. Every abrupt death trains viewers not to get attached in the first place. Here's the irony. Netflix knows you'll come back. Analytics firm. Antenna found 61% of US subscribers who canceled in 2023 rejoined within a year, giving Netflix the industry's steepest win-back curve and a churn rate stuck around 2%.
But as you and Jamie are quite the item.
We're having fun.
Yes, that's what he's good at.
Translation. The company can afford to break hearts. History says most of us will forgive and resubscribe for the next big fad. Still, trust is leaking. Disillusioned fans now weigh every Netflix original against the odds it survives to a finale. Some wait for full series completion before pressing play, throttling early viewership and ironically increasing cancellation risk. A vicious loop. And with rivals like Apple TV Plus flaunting near-zero early cancellations, the contrast is stark. Bottom line, Netflix's axe is sharp, fast, and data-driven, but each cut carves a little deeper into audience loyalty. Up next, we'll look at how binge release strategy pours salt in that wound, and why dumping entire seasons in one go may actually shorten Netflix's own shelf life. Stick around. The Section 6 stats will change how you binge forever. It's 2 a.m., and you've just rocketed through 8 brand new episodes of a show Netflix dropped yesterday. The dopamine spike is real, until you realize there's nothing left but credits, and social media has already moved on. That whiplash is more than a feeling. It's measurable. Parrot Analytics found that 75 of 100 most in-demand US series in 2023 were released weekly, not in a single dump. Proof that drip feeding still dominates pop culture mindshare. Why? Demand decays slower when episodes arrive like clockwork. In the same Parrot study, weekly or hybrid rollouts scored 44 of the 50 best decay rate scores, meaning buzz stayed hot long after finales, while binge shows flamed out in days. Analysts call it the long tail of conversation, and it keeps rivals hits. Think Ted Lasso or House of the Dragon, trending for months while Netflix originals vanish by Monday. The entertainment strategy guy's Nielsen Deep Dive shows the pattern in real time. Marvel's Echo, all 5 episodes at once, broke into the charts for 1 week. Disney's weekly Percy Jackson gained viewers for 4 straight weeks. Same budget class, wildly different staying power. Worse, the binge rush fuels subscription hop-offs. Wired reports the average binge release loses cultural oxygen in 8 weeks, versus 9 weeks after the finale for weekly shows. That quick burn lines up perfectly with serial churners who subscribe, gorge, and cancel before the next billing cycle. Netflix has quietly tweaked a few big reality series into multi-week drops, but its core drama slate still lands in one giddy gulp. Great for completion rate spreadsheets, brutal for longevity. And every overnight spike forces an even bigger content treadmill. If viewers polish off a season in 48 hours, Netflix must refill the trough again next Friday. It's the definition of unsustainable, especially with strikes, budgets, and talent headaches looming in the next chapter. Ready to see how that broken pipeline is strangling Netflix's once relentless output? The numbers in Section 7 will make your jaw drop. Hollywood's twin strikes may be history, but the aftershocks are still rattling Netflix's assembly line. Its 2024 slate was patchier than normal, executives admitted, and the company is praying for a full bounce back in 2025. The hard data shows why. The average gap between seasons of English-language Netflix dramas has stretched to 20.7 months, nearly 2 years, thanks to strike stoppages and overstuffed post-production queues. That lag kills momentum. Schwarzenegger's FUBAR lost 80% of its audience when it finally returned after a 25-month hiatus.
I'm back, baby.
Even Crown Jewel. Stranger Things faces a record 40-month layoff before its farewell volume, a test of fan patience no brand should envy. Netflix is throwing money at the hole. CFO Spencer Neumann just pegged 2025 content spending at $18 billion, up from $16.2 billion last year. Yet much of that cash is earmarked for live sports, WWE, and splashy one-off events, not the mid-budget series that built its cred. Meanwhile, cost trim memos keep leaking. In 2023, Note staff were told to shave $300 million off expenses and be sensible about hiring. The result is a weird whiplash: ballooning top-line spend, tighter belts on the studio floor, and the talent pipeline springs another leak. In June 2025, Peter Chernon's North Road Studio, supplier of Netflix hits from Fear Street to Back in Action, jumped ship to Apple TV+, signing a first-look film pact
Still alive.
Who is this?
It's happening again.
that underscores how quickly prestige producers are following the money and creative freedom elsewhere. Splintering loyalty shows up on screen. To stretch inventory, Netflix is carving finales into chunks. Hello, Cobra Kai's 3-part send-off straddling 2024 to 2025, and shuffling big shows to event windows whenever VFX houses free up.
You bring Cobra Kai back to the Valley? Yeah. Not on my watch.
Put it together, and the once relentless conveyor belt is sputtering. Long gaps, rising costs, and marquee creators eyeing greener pastures. Viewers feel the pinch in missing seasons and padded release tricks. Investors feel it in higher spend for shorter subscriber highs. And next comes the kicker. When the content slows but the bill keeps climbing, the very app experience starts to feel hostile. In Section 8, we'll dive into price hikes, ads, and the 2025 interface overhaul that made fans scream louder than any cliffhanger. Don't touch that dial. Fire up Netflix today and you might wonder if you opened the wrong app. In May 2025, the streamer forced a brand new TV interface onto millions of sets, the first full makeover in a decade. The shiny top bar shortcuts, search, shows, movies, games, My Netflix, were supposed to slash decision fatigue, but early testers on Reddit call the redesign beyond stupid, complaining that the Home and My Netflix tabs feel identical and bury their watch lists 2 clicks deeper. The timing could not be worse because the price keeps climbing. Last winter's hike bumped premium to $24.99 a month in the US and Canada, its 4th increase in 6 years, while even the standard with ads tier slid up to $7.99. The sticker shock lands alongside the still-fresh password-sharing crackdown, meaning some households saw bills double overnight. Netflix insists ads will save subscribers money, yet that tier is morphing fast. A year after launch, the company boasts 94 million ad-supported users and is teasing pause ads, plus interactive mid-rolls powered by generative AI for 2026. Viewers already grumble that the current ad load, about 4 minutes per hour, has crept past 6 in certain genres. Hardly the friction-free binge they signed up for. Put it together, an unfamiliar UI that many hate, rising fees, and a growing ad footprint inside what was once the gold standard ad-free service. It's a triple whammy to the customer relationship. Surveys by Civic Science show Netflix's very satisfied score, sliding from 54% in 2022 to 41% in early 2025, with UI confusion and cost cited as the top irritants. The same survey has Apple TV Plus climbing 9 points during the same period. Every glitch, pop-up, and surprise charge adds weight to the feeling that Netflix is no longer the user-centric rebel it once was. And just as subscribers start eyeing that cancel button, rivals are pouncing with slick bundles and price lock guarantees, a danger we'll unpack in the next section, where Netflix's head-to-head scores against HBO, Disney, and Apple are downright humbling. If Netflix's feed feels like a bargain bin tornado, its rivals look more like boutique record stores. Smaller catalogs, obsessively curated, and suddenly the cool place to hang out. Whip Media's 2023 US Satisfaction Survey crowned Max, HBO #1 for the 2nd year running, while Netflix tumbled to 6th and Apple TV Plus posted the biggest year-over-year jump in happiness scores. The message was clear: prestige beats volume. The trend hasn't reversed. Fresh ACSI data for 2025 shows Netflix locked at 79 points, flat since 2023, while Apple TV Plus has climbed 3 points to 79, matching Netflix for the first time despite having barely a tenth of the library size. Disney's Max Disney Plus bundle is squeezing from the other side. Antenna Tracking finds the $17 combo retained 80% of subs 3 months in, trouncing Netflix's 74%. Proof that curated slates plus smart pricing trump a single pricey monolith. Quality bragging rights tell the same story. Apple TV Plus racked up a record 72 primetime Emmy nominations in 2024 and added 29 more kids and family nods by winter numbers that would make old-school HBO blush. Meanwhile, Netflix's most nominated show last season, The Crown's final run, is already over, leaving a vacuum its newer originals haven't filled. Demand share underscores the drift. Parrot Analytics pegs Netflix's global demand for originals at 33% in Q3 2023, down 20 points from 2020, while HBO Max, Disney, and Apple split most of the gains. Netflix briefly clawed back to 34% in early 2024, but with its supply share still diving below 15%, the gap between what it makes and what people actually want keeps widening. And consider release strategy. Apple and Disney rely almost entirely on weekly or hybrid drops, feeding the conversation for months. Max does 3 then weekly arcs. Netflix still dumps all at once. Parrot's decay rate study shows weekly shows holding audience demand 40% longer than binge drops. Translation: rivals turn every series into a miniature cultural season. Netflix burns through its ammo overnight and reaches for the wallet again. Wrap it all up and the scoreboard looks brutal. Higher satisfaction, stickier retention, shinier awards, and smarter rollout cadences are tilting the prestige narrative away from the red N. Next, in our conclusion, we'll ask the big question. Can Netflix actually claw back its creative soul? Or is the age of endless scrolling here to stay? Cut the lights. Imagine a future where the red N is once again shorthand for unmissable television, where a single weekly drop can freeze Twitter, where cliffhangers resolve instead of rot, and where new shows feel like events, not filler. That future is still on the table, but Netflix has to flip its own playbook. Step 1. Replace the fire hose with a faucet. Greenlight fewer titles, boost marketing runway, and give promising series room to breathe. Prestige doesn't need 500 launches a year. It needs 10 that actually matter. Step 2. Ditch the instant dump. A hybrid model, 3-episode burst, then weekly, would stretch buzz, strangle churn, and give talent more post-launch breathing room. It's already working for rivals. The data couldn't be clearer. Step 3. Stop ghosting the fandom. A public continuation score or early renewal roadmap would rebuild trust faster than any algorithm tweak. If a season 2 is unlikely, say so upfront and let creators craft finales, not cliff edges. Step 4. Price sanity. Pair that $25 premium tier with real perks. Lossless 4K, IMAX-enhanced tracks, early access windows, so subscribers feel elevated, not exploited. Better yet, bundle. Think Netflix plus Spotify plus games for one predictable fee. Step 5. Bet big on voices, not dashboards. Courting creators with autonomy and back-end bonuses draws the Shonda Rhimes and Bong Joon-ho's back into the fold. Use AI to kill drudge work, not bold ideas. Pull those levers and Netflix could transform from content landfill to cultural lighthouse. Because when the billion-dollar algorithm meets real curation, magic can happen. The question is whether the company that taught us all to binge has the nerve to slow the stream, steady the prices, and fall back in love with risk. If you want to see that renaissance and never miss the next deep dive, smash that like button, slap subscribe, and ring the bell so you're first in line when we drop another eye-opening explainer.